Hello, can you hear me? Hello? Hello,
Yeah.
Okay, let's get started. Okay, so this is our lecture 3 for the ACSL competition. And I think we got a very good score in the contest 1 and contest 2. The end of the contest 2 is March, I think it's March 5th, if I remember correctly. But like 2 or 3 students told me that they started the short problem and the coding assignment on the day, on the due date, because the website says you have to start the contest before that day, like which is January 15th. But they started on January 15th. And it should have like 3 days to finish the coding assignment. But they told me they couldn't submit their code because it says it passed the due date. So my recommendation for the future contest is start the contest 3 days before the due date. All right, 3 days before, because the website says you have to start on that day. But several students told me that they started on that day, but they still couldn't submit their coding assignment. So my suggestion is start the contest 3 days before, all right? To make sure you have the opportunity to submit the code. Okay, so this is the contest 2. Today we are going to talk about the contest 2. So for the elementary contest 2, the only topic is today's topic. It's called the prefix, infix, and the postfix notation. And if you are the middle school and the high school, you have another 2 topics. So we will talk about the other 2 topics later. All right, but if you are elementary school, the contest 2, all the contents will be covered today. Okay, so that means after you finish today's lecture, and if you did a very good job on reviewing those, you should be able to handle the contest 2 pretty good. All right, so let's get started. So the contest 2 is, as I said, elementary has only one topic, and junior high and the high school has like two more topics. So we are going to talk about the prefix and the infix and the postfix, which is very, very important in computer science. All right, and we use this a lot. Okay, so we will talk about what is the prefix, infix, and the postfix. All right, so these are the results. So the first 3 are exactly the same as before, and the last one is the wiki page for the ACSL official website, and the postfix, infix, postfix, and the prefix notation website. Okay, so let's review some math expression first. So the math expression contains like operators and the operands, right? So for example, we have 3 plus 5, we have 3 plus 5 times 4, etc. So this is like elementary school stuff. It's very easy. So this is when we calculate the math. So we use this notation, which is what we call infix notation, which is human readable. All right, human readable is called infix notation. And we have to pay attention to the pair of parentheses, okay? Because it defines the order of the operations, which operation will like run first. So for example, for the last one, we will calculate this plus first, and then we'll calculate this minus second. And then we will do the multiplication. Although the multiplication order is higher than the plus and the minus, but we have this parentheses, right? So this is the order. So in the infix notation, we have to know the order. It's very simple. So this one is very simple. So this is the human beings. When we calculate the mass, we call this infix notation. Okay, and we have to know the order of the precedence. Okay, the parenthesis has the highest order, and the explanation is the second, and the multiplication and division. Okay, and the last is the addition and the subtraction. And when we evaluate, we always evaluate from left to the right. Okay, we evaluate this first, the 3 plus 5 first, and then we evaluate this, and then this. Okay, so this is how human beings will calculate the math expression. Okay, so which is called the infix notation. But in computer science, we are going to use different notations. Some programming language are using the prefix notation, and some programming language are use the postfix notation. All right, so the prefix notation, prefix. So from the name, we can tell, of course, it is different between prefix and the infix. So the prefix means operator is placed before its operands. Okay, so for example, if we have A plus B, so this is called the infix, right? But the prefix, the operator is before the operands. Basically, we have A, B, but we have the plus here. All right, we have plus here. It's like prefix. The operator is before the operands, two operands. Okay, and in infix, the operand is always in between. Okay, so this one is needed when we require operators before the operands. Basically, some programming language need this. Okay, so for example, the Lisp. So the Lisp is a very old programming language, and we will talk about the Lisp maybe in lecture 5, I think. Yeah, in lecture 5. Okay, and for the computer, for example, the programming language Lisp, it will evaluate something like this. If you have 3 plus 3, 5, it will evaluate this one is equal to 8. Okay, because it is similar to 3 plus 5 is equal to 8. But when computer evaluate this, it will use this notation. We will talk about why. We will talk about why and how to evaluate this. Okay, so this is called the prefix notation. It is very simple. Operator is placed before its operands. All right, so this is prefix notation. And we have some example, A plus B. The infix notation is A plus B, but the prefix notation is plus AB. And also we have another a little bit complicated example. Infix notation, A times B plus C divided by D. And in infix, we will calculate this first. So this is the first operation, and this is the second operation, and we will do this third operation. Okay, but in the prefix notation, it will something like this. It will do something like this. So we will talk about how to convert the infix to the prefix, and then we'll talk about how to convert the prefix to infix as well. Okay. Okay, so this should be very simple. And later we'll talk about some data structure, something called stack. We will talk about what is the stack and why we use the stack and how we use this stack to evaluate this prefix and the postfix notation. And you will see in the infix notation, because we have the order, and we need the parentheses, right? Because the plus is lower order, has lower order than the multiplication and division. So that's why we have to use the parentheses to give this plus a higher order. We have to evaluate this plus first. And you can see in the prefix notation, there is no parentheses, all right? There is no parentheses. And also it has no operator precedence. So we will know how to evaluate this very soon, but you will see there is no parentheses, okay? So this is called the prefix notation. And then the next one is the postfix notation. So it's very similar. So the postfix notation is just the operator is after its operands. Okay, it's after. So for example, if we have A plus B, then for the postfix notation, it will become A, B, and plus. All right, A, B, and plus. Okay, so in many programming language, including C++, Java, Python, okay, they are going to use this. They're going to use the postfix notation. And we will talk about the intermediate code generation because, for example, in the Java or in C++, so those are kind of advanced programming languages, and humans read the Java and the C++, but the computer cannot read the Java and the C++. And instead, they are going to translate this Java and the C++ into some machine readable code, okay? It will translate the Java and the C++ code to some machine readable code. In this step, we call this compile. We have to compile the Java code or the C++ code to some machine readable code. And then when we run the Java code, the computer is actually run those machine readable code instead of just the pure Java code, okay? So this is kind of, that's why Java and C++ is faster, because when we run the code, we don't need to translate the code to machine readable code because it is already machine readable code already. So it is run, when we run this, it's run much faster than Python. When we run Python, Python is different. When we run Python, we have the translate first and then run the Python code. So the translation part and the execution part are happening together when you run the Python code. It has like 2 steps. So that's why Python usually is slower, but the Java and C++ is faster. And how do we generate those intermediate code generation? We'll use the postfix notation, all right? So it will increase the performance of those programming language. So many advanced programming language are using the postfix notation. And also, again, you can see there is no order of precedence and there is no parentheses as well, okay? So there is some example. The simple example is we have A plus B, okay? And the postfix notation is AB plus. And for some complicated example, we have the infix notation, something like this. Again, we have the parentheses, but in the postfix notation, we do not have the parentheses, all right? And again, we are going to use the stack. We're going to use the stack. We will talk about this soon. All right, so these are the prefix, postfix, and infix. Okay, so it should be very simple. Any question? Any question? No question. All right. So if you do not have questions, now we are going to talk about how to convert the infix to prefix or to the postfix. All right. So the first one is convert the infix to the prefix. All right. So first, let's see if we have the A plus B. Or maybe we have the A plus B then times C, okay? Or even we have something like this. Let's create another one, maybe even like this. We have the A plus B times C, okay? So we know first we have to evaluate this first, and then we have to evaluate this plus, okay? But because we know the order, the multiplication is higher than the plus, right? We have an order, but when we convert the infix to prefix, we always add the parentheses, okay? Because this run first, we add the parentheses, and we run this second, we add another pair of parentheses. This is called the fully parenthesize the prefix, the infix expression, okay? All right, and then we have to write down the operands in the same order that they appear in the infix expression. That means we're going to add, write A, B, and C. The same order, write down the operands in the same order that they appear. So this is infix. We have the A first, B second, and C. We have to write the same order, A, B, C. And look at each term in the infix expression, and we have to evaluate. We have to evaluate this first, right? We have to evaluate this first. Then this is prefix. We have to add this. We have to add this in front of the BC because this is operator, this is operator, this is operands. We have to add these operands before this B and C. Okay, so this is the first step. And then you can assume after you evaluate this B times C, you are going to get a number. So basically this, after we evaluate this is a number. This is a number. So let's call this D, right? Let's call this D. And then the next one is we are going to evaluate A plus this D. So we have the A, we have the D. So basically this is A, this is D, right? And then what? And then this is add. We have to add the addition, the plus sign here, okay? And basically we are going to have plus A, and this is D. Okay, so this is how to convert the red one. The red one is the infix to the blue one. The blue one is the prefix. All right, so this is how we convert the infix to the prefix. Okay, so if you don't understand, let me translate this to like human way. Write down the operands in the same order that they appear in the infix. Okay, it's same thing. For example, let's use the same example. We have the A plus, not plus is fine, B times C. Okay, so the first step is I'm going to write A, B, and C, same order. And then this, we are going to evaluate this first. right? We're going to evaluate this. Oh, it's convert, not convert, convert. All right, I'm missing an n. I copy paste every single page. I'm missing an n here. All right, so B, C, we are going to evaluate this B times C first. So that's why I'm adding a plus here. Then this will become a single number. Oh, okay, so because we evaluated this B times C, we can write on the line to make sure this will become a operands, right? This becomes an operand after we evaluate this B times C. And then we are going to add this plus sign. The plus sign we'll add here because we're going to convert to the prefix. We add the plus sign here. All right. Then this is the prefix and this is the prefix. This is the infix and this is the prefix. Okay, it's very simple. All right. So any question? Any question here? All right. Yeah, so every word is wrong because I copy paste every single page. I will change this. All right, so let's do some example. A plus B, which is very simple, right? A, B plus. Okay, this is very simple. So how do we do it? So the first step is we write down the same order. The second step is we know we have to evaluate this plus sign first because it only has one operator. We have to evaluate this. And then we add this in front of the A and B. It's very simple. Okay. And for the second one, first step is we write down the same order, A, B, C, D. And the second step is we evaluate this plus sign first. We have to evaluate this plus sign first. Then, right? So this color means it's postfix, and this color means the other. This color means the infix, and this color means the prefix. And then we have to evaluate the plus sign. Then we add, we add the plus sign in front of the BC. Okay, we add the plus sign in front of the BC. And then the next step is we have to evaluate this multiplication. Okay, we have to evaluate this sign. Then we add this sign in front of the A, right? We have to add this multiplication sign in front of the A. Why? Because we have this. This is actually, after we evaluated this is actually operands, right? And for example, if we call this D and we have A and D, and then we have to do the addition signs here. Am I right? Oh, no, I think, yeah, I have to do, not addition sign, I have to do the multiplication sign here. So that's why I add a multiplication sign here. And the next step is I have to evaluate this division. I have to evaluate the division. Then how do I do the division? Because the division is based on the whole thing. So this is one number, this is the second number. And now I have to do this. I have to do this division sign in front of everything, right? In front of everything. So now I convert every single operator. So this is what I get for the prefix. Okay, so any question here? So any question? So this is how I convert the infix to the prefix. Oh, so why I have so many this? Okay, I didn't include those. Okay, so now let's look at another example. We have the to the power of E, to the power of E. So the to the power of E in the ACSL, competition, this means to the power of E, all right? Because some student doesn't understand the notation of this one. This means the to the power of E. So first, we just write this notation to this, A times B minus C divided by D to the power of E, okay? This is the first step. And the second step is we write down the same. The next step is we write down the same order. We write down the same order, but we have to evaluate this multiplication sign first, and we add the multiplication sign in front of the A and the B, okay? In front of the A and the B. And the second step is we have to evaluate this division, okay? And then we add this division in front of the C and the D, okay? It's basically, it's coming from this to this. We add the division sign here, all right? And then the next we have to evaluate the minus sign. right? Next one is we have to evaluate the minus sign. And then we have to, so remember, so this is one value. After we evaluate the whole thing, is actually we evaluate this expression, okay? And then we have to add the minus here, okay? That's why we add the minus here. And the next one is we have to evaluate this sign to the power of e, and then it's simple. We just add this in front of everything. All right, so after we add this sign, we evaluate every single operators, we are done. Okay, so this is convert the infix to the prefix. Okay. All right, so any question? So any question? All right, so that's how we convert the infix to the postfix. And similar, how to convert the infix to the postfix. So it's very similar. So when we convert the infix to postfix, we just first we write down the operator the same order, the exact same way, the same order as the infix, and then we evaluate which operator has the highest order, and then we add that operator after the operands. That's the only difference. After the operands, let's look at some example. For example, a plus b. First, the first step is we write the same order, which is a and b, okay, a and b. The second step is we have to evaluate this addition, and then we add this addition after the operands, a, b, and the plus. That's the only difference. If it is the prefix, we add this plus sign in front. If it's a postfix, we add at the end, okay? And another example, a little bit complicated example. So first step is we write the same order, a, b, and c, d. And the second step, we have to tell which operator has the highest order. So this addition sign has the highest order. And the third step is we write this plus sign at the end of the BC, right? After the BC. And then we have to evaluate this multiplication sign. And then we have to, so remember, this is the one operand, and this is the second operand, because after we evaluate the b plus c, this becomes one operand, okay? And then that's why we have to add this multiplication sign after the plus sign, okay? Because this is one operand, and this is the second operand. We add this multiplication sign after the plus sign, because sometimes the students will add the multiplication sign here or here. That's not correct. You can just think of, after you evaluate this b plus c, this one will become one value, will become one operand. All right, so this is one operand, this is another operand, and you just add this at the end of this plus sign. After this, you just add this sign. All right, and then you can see this one becomes one operand, because after you evaluate this one becomes one operand, and now you have to evaluate this. Where do you add this division sign? Where do you add this division sign? At the end, okay? At the very end, you add the division sign. All right, so this is convert the infix to the postfix, okay? So any question? Any question? So I go over those pretty quick. If you have any questions, let me know. So this is convert the infix to the prefix and the postfix. The method are very, very similar. One is add the operands before the add the operator before the operands, and that is prefix. And the postfix is just add the operators after the operands. All right, so this is simple. Oh, another one is to the power of e, right? This should be exactly very simple. First, we convert this mass expression to the regular expression, and then we evaluate this multiplication sign first, and we add this multiplication sign after a and b. And next, we have to evaluate this division sign. We add this division sign after c and d. And the next step is we're going to evaluate the minus sign. So where should we add this minus sign? Where should we add this minus sign? Where? I'm asking you, all of you. Where should I add because the next step is I'm going to evaluate this minus sign. Where should I put this minus sign? Anybody? After C? After C? After division? I got two different answers. Someone told me after C. Someone told me after the division. And I got another answer after D. I got three different answers. Anybody else want to try? It is okay. If you make mistakes right now, it is totally fine, right? Because it's a learning opportunity. Let me know what you think. Where should I add this minus sign? I got another D, all right? Anybody else? After the division sign, okay, I got three D's. I got two division, three division. I got 2C. I got 2C, 3D, 3 division. What does the arrow next to? Okay, so the arrow means to the power of E. Okay, the arrow means to the power of E. Okay, in ACSL, the arrow means to the power of E. I got another after division. Okay, so let's review. Where should this minus sign? Okay, so as I said, okay, so after we evaluate this, you can just assume this is one operand. Okay, we can see this is operand. I call this X because after we evaluate A plus A times B, it becomes one single value. Okay, one single value. So this A B multiplication can change to an operand X. Let's call this X because let's see, A is 3, B is 5. Then this X is equal to 15, right? After we evaluate, this is actually 15, okay? And then what? So this is one operand. This is one operand after we evaluate the A times B. And then we have to evaluate the C divided by D, right? C divided by D. So then we can assume, because we are using the postfix, this is what? This is the result of C divided by D. Okay, so let's say this is X, this is Y. So now we have two operands. This is one operand. This is another operand. We can just assume the result. A times B, the result is X. C divided by D, the result is Y. And now the next one is we have to evaluate this minus sign. Okay, we have to evaluate this minus sign. Where should we, now let me ask you again, where should we put this minus sign? We are using the postfix. Where should I put this minus sign? If we have X minus Y, if we are going to use the postfix, we're going to use X, Y. Where should I put this minus sign? I should put the minus sign here, right? After Y. I should put the minus sign here. Okay, now let's go back. Where should I put this minus sign? Okay, let me ask you again. Where should I put the minus sign? So now it becomes very clear. Okay, we should put the minus sign after the division. Okay, after the division. All right, so that's the correct answer. We should put the minus sign after the division. So let's go to the next step. Okay, we put the minus sign after the division. So every step, you can just assume this is the results. You can assume this is X. This is another result. You can assume this is Y. And after you put the minus sign, so this is the one result. This is the second result. And this is the third result. All right. So now the next question is, how do I call this? The upper arrow. Okay. The upper arrow. Where should I put this upper arrow? Where should I put this upper arrow? All right. So yeah, so the upper arrow means the exponents to the power of E. Okay. So now everybody got the correct answer. Yeah, now everybody got the correct answer. I should put this one at the end of the whole thing Because why? Because this is the results. This is one result, right? This is the second result. This is my second result. And then this is the third result. And then this is the third result. And then I can assume this is x to the power of e, right? So that's why I have to put this upper arrow here at the very back. All right, so now everybody got it correct. That's good. Okay, so any questions? It's not difficult, right? Even for elementary school, it's not difficult. All right. Okay, any question here? Any question? Okay, if you don't have questions, convert the prefix and the postfix to infix. Yeah, we talk about how to convert the infix to prefix and the postfix. Okay, so after, oh, this one I got correct, convert, but why the previous slides I got it wrong. Okay, I didn't copy paste here. Okay, convert the prefix and the postfix to infix. So remember, this is very similar to like the decimal converted to binary or the binary converted to the hex. So there are different ways, okay? So there are different ways. So you have to like review those topics before you take the contest, all right? Because sometimes people got confused which way I should, which method I should use, okay? So make sure before you take the test, review today's contents, all right? Convert the prefix, postfix to infix. Before that, I have to introduce some data structure idea, okay? So this is very, very important. We are going to talk about data structure. Data structure. And this is a very, very important concept in computer science. And what is the data structure? Anybody know what is a data structure? Anybody know? If nobody answers, I'm going to call the name. I'm going to call the name, okay? What is a data structure? Anybody want to try? Yeah? Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so from what I know, data structure is essentially just like a method for organizing and getting a data. Like it's like a sequence essentially. Like some data structures include stack queues, graphs, which I'm pretty sure graph is non-linear, but like there's also things like linked lists, but those are all data structures.
Yeah, so those are, yes, that's correct. Those are data structures. But what is a data structure? You give me several examples. Yes, those are data structure, linked list, a graph, stack, queue. Yes, these are data structure. But what is the data structure? So anybody want to try? Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. If you raise your hand, you can unmute yourself and you can just talk.
It's how you store information and data.
Yes, that's right. So for example, today we receive email, we have like social media, we send messages. So those are all the data. So those, for example, I receive email every hour. So those emails will saved somewhere. So those are actually data. So we are deal with data, so many data every day, right? So I have like the cell phone messages, I have like WeChat messages, social media messages, so many data, I have emails. Those are all data. So how do we store those data? How do we maintain those data? And for example, I can give you many examples. For example, you bought a dictionary, okay? You bought a dictionary. So for example, I got it wrong, the convert, I spelled wrong. I don't know how to spell the convert. I go to the dictionary book and I try to search the convert. So the data, all the words, all the vocabulary are stored in the dictionary. Okay, so the dictionary is actually a data structure. They store all the vocabulary, they store all the words. Okay, so how do I search the convert? Do I need to go every word starting from the page 1? Is that a better way? Is there any better way to search the convert in the dictionary? Should I just go check the first word? I'm pretty sure the first word is a, okay? The second word is probably, I don't know, abandon. All right. The third word is probably abuse, something like this. So should I check the data, every single data? Should I check the word, every single word from the page 1? No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Okay, because convert, the first letter is C. I know the first letter is C. So I can just jump into the C section, right? The starting with the C. I know the second word is, yeah, what's the question? So the second letter is O, right? So then after I search the C, I'm going to find the O. The third letter is N, I'm going to find the N, etc. Right? I'm not going to start from the page 1. So this is basically, I have a collection of words. So this is data structure. And now I'm going to search every single word. No, I'm not search every single word. I'm going to search from the middle of the dictionary because I know the first letter is C, right? So this is kind of, I'm going to search something into a data structure with a better way, okay? So if there is a new word, okay, if there is a new word, I want to add this new word to the dictionary. Where should I put this word? Should I put this word at the end of the dictionary? Or should I put this word at the beginning of the dictionary? So usually the dictionary is sorted by the alphabetically, right? Sorted alphabetically. So usually if I insert a new word, I should insert the new word to the correct position. All right, so this is basically, I'm going to insert a data into the data structure. Okay, so this is the data structure. I'm going to do several operations on the data structure, including adding something or deleting something, or maybe modify something, or maybe like look up for something. Okay, this is data structure. So I can give you another example. So I will have English test next week. Okay, I put into my calendar. I'm going to have a Chinese project next week. I put on my calendar. I'm going to have a chemistry like exam next week. I'm put on my calendar. Which task I should do first? Okay, I have a lot of homework. I have a lot of project. They are all in my calendar. Which task I should do first? After I finish the first task, which task I should do next? Okay, which order I should work on those tasks? Which order? Okay, so basically you are going to give every task a priority. Some task has higher priority, some task has lower priority. Okay, so basically all of these tasks are data. I can add a new task. Basically, I'm adding a new data. I can delete a task. For example, I finished my chemistry work. I can delete a data. Okay, I can adjust the priority. For example, the chemistry is more important. Before I gave a lower priority. Now chemistry becomes higher priority. Okay, I can change the priority for my data. I can add, I can delete, I can change, I can query, because after I finish one task, I'm going to query which task will be my next task. Okay, so this basically is another data structure. I'm going to maintain all my tasks. Okay, so which one has the highest priority? After I finish this task, which one I should work on next? Okay, so those are the data structures. But sometimes the data structures has different performance on those operations. Okay, for example, the dictionary. If I search the word from the page 1, it's very, very slow. Or I can search the word randomly. Okay, I go to page 345. Okay, I try to search the word. No, it's not there. I'm going to jump to like page 628. Okay, the word is not here. It's a random search. Okay, it's very, very slow. Maybe it's slow, maybe it's fast. I don't know, right? So basically, the data structure will provide all the operations: insert, remove, modify, or look up. Okay, or maybe find the biggest one, or maybe find the lowest one. Okay, or maybe add a new element inside my data. Okay, so basically we are going to talk about the performance later. All right, every data structure, they provide a certain operations, but those operations, some are fast, some are slow. We are going to talk about the performance of these data structure. All right, so today we are going to talk about the stack. So what is the stack? Okay, so let me make an example. So every morning you wake up, you are the first you are the first one wake up at your home. You have to prepare the breakfast for the whole family. All right. Your task is to prepare the breakfast for the whole family. You are going to make eggs. Okay. You're going to cook the eggs. So the first, okay, so you're going to cook the eggs. So first, you have a bowl. And after you finish the egg, you put the egg here. Okay, you put the egg here. And you're going to cook the second egg. So after you finish the second egg, you're going to put the second egg on top of the first egg. It's a bowl, right? And then you're going to cook the third egg and put the egg here and put the fourth egg here. All right. So this is basically those eggs are the data. You add a new data into the whole data structure. You can think about this bowl is a container which can hold all the eggs. Okay. And you put all the eggs here. And when you eat the egg, which egg are you going to eat first? Which egg are you going to eat first? So usually we're going to eat this egg, right? At the very top, right? Usually we eat this egg. So after you eat this egg, you ate this egg, which egg you are going to eat next? So usually we're going to eat this egg, right? And we're going to eat this egg. And then meanwhile, you are still cooking new eggs. You put the new eggs here. You put the new eggs here, you put new eggs here. So when you eat, we eat the egg on the top. So this data structure, what we call stack. Okay, so this data structure is called the stack. So every time when you add a data, you put at the very top. We put the data at the very top. We call this operation push. We call this operation push. Basically, it's just to add a new data. Add a new data on the top. We call this top of the stack. We put a new data on the top of the stack because this data structure is what we call stack. We put a new data on top of the stack. But when you try to eat the egg, you remove the data. Okay, you remove the data from the top of the stack. All right, you remove the data from the top of the stack. Okay, so this operation, when you remove the egg, this operation, what do we call pop? The pop means I'm going to remove the data from the stack. Okay, so basically the stack provides two basic operations. One is called push, another one is called pop. And of course, it provides some other operations as well, but we are not going to talk about those today. We just need to know what is a push, what is a pop. Push means add a new data at the top of the stack. Pop means I'm going to remove a data from the top of the stack. So you can see when we draw a stack, we just draw something like this. Okay, it's just something like this. And when you add a data, you add a new egg here. Okay, you add a new egg here. And when you add another one, you add another egg here. When you add another one, you add another egg here. So when you try to remove, you remove this one. When you try to remove again, you remove this one. So sometimes we call this last in, first out. Okay. Or sometimes we call this LIFO, LIFO, okay? Last in, first out. Why? Because this is the egg, this is the egg, this is the egg, and this is the egg. This egg is the last one you put into this container, right? This is the last egg you put into this container. But when you try to delete the egg, it's first out. This one is the last one to come in to the container. But when you delete this egg, it's the first one to get out this container. Okay, first one. And this one is the first to get in the container, but this one will be the last one to get out of the container. So this is also called last in, first out. Okay, so this is the basic idea of the stack, and the stack is very, very useful. Okay, we will see many applications. We will use the stack, and the postfix and the prefix are the one of them, two of them. Okay, so we're going to talk about how we convert the postfix and the prefix into the infix. Okay, so now let's go to the next slide. Okay, so now, this is wrong again. Now the next slide is we are going to convert the prefix to the infix. How do we convert the prefix to infix? Okay, so now it's a prefix. So we read, be very careful. First, we read the prefix expression in reverse order. All right, this is very, very tricky. This is called prefix to infix. We have to read the prefix expression in a reverse. What is a reverse order? From the back to front, okay? From this way. Okay? So now if the symbol is an operand, okay? If the symbol is an operand, then push it onto the stack. So basically, if it is an operand, we are going to push this onto the stack. All right, so remember that. If the symbol is an operator, okay? If this is operator, then we are going to pop two operands. Okay, we are going to remove one, remove two. We are going to pop two operands from the stack. All right, so let's repeat this again. If it is an operand, we are going to push onto the stack. All right, if it is an operator, we pop two operands. Okay, we pop two operands, and then what? And then we are going to create a string by concatenating these two operands and the operator together by using this formula, the operand 1 and operator and operand 2. Okay, so for example, so you are going to have 1, 2, we are going to pop this one, we are going to pop this one and concatenate them together, operand 1, operator, and operand 2, something like this. All right, and then we are going to repeat the above step until the end of the prefix expression. So we just repeat this step. We go back to here and just repeat this step. All right, so this is how we convert the prefix to the infix. Let's look at some example. How do we convert the oh, this is wrong again. This is convert the prefix to infix. Yeah, I copy pasted my slides, so I didn't pay attention to the title. Okay, so this is actually, let me right now change it. So this is convert. This is convert the prefix to infix. All right, so this is convert the prefix to infix. So let's look at some example. Okay, so now we have a prefix, something like this. Okay, and now what do we do? The first step is we are going to read from the back. We're going to read from the back. And now this is what? This is the operands. If we see an operands, we push into the stack. Remember, we have a stack like this. We're going to push this D into the stack. The next one is also operands. We're going to push this C into the stack. Okay, and the next one is operator. So when we see an operator, we are going to what? We are going to pop this out. We're going to pop this out. See, pop this out. Pop this out means I'm going to delete this one. And then the C is the first operator. No, the C is the first operand. And the D is the second operand. Okay, the D is the second operand. And then what? And then they are connecting by the minus sign. All right, so this is C minus D. Okay, and then what? Then we are going to push this string, because after we evaluate C minus D, we are going to get something X. It's going to be an operand again. So basically we can push this C minus D to the stack again, C minus D. We can push this C minus D again. And now it's a B, we're going to push this B. And now we see a A, we can push this A. And the next one is A, is a plus, What do we do? We are going to pop A out of the stack. We are going to pop B out of the stack. And then add them with the plus sign. Okay, and then add them with plus sign. And then what? And then what we have to do is, because after you evaluate this A plus B, you can just assume this is another operand, Y. You just push this A plus B into the stack. And the next one is the multiplication sign. What do we do? What should we do? Now the next step is we are going to pop A plus B out. Okay, we're going to pop A plus B out, but remember, add the parentheses. And now we have to pop C and D, C minus D, add the parentheses. Okay, and then what? And then add this multiplication sign. Okay, so this is this is the answer for the first questions. That's what we get. A plus B times C minus D. Okay. And for the second one, we have this. The same thing. We are going to evaluate from the back. So now we have L. We put this into the stack. The next one is K. We put into the stack. Next one is A. We put into the stack. And now what? Now we see a division. Division is the operator. So basically, we are going to pop A, pop K, and add, concatenate them with the division. Okay, we're going to pop A, pop K. Every time we pop 2 operands. And then we add this A divided by K into the stack. All right, we add this A divided by K into the stack. And now the next one is the minus sign. What we have to do is pop this out, and add the minus sign. Add the minus sign. So now we have these, and add them. All right. So now the next step is what? We are going to see a C here, see a B here. And now we have a division sign. So now we are going to pop B. We are going to pop B, and we are going to pop C. Pop C, and add the division. All right, and add back this string. All right. So the next one is A. I push A to the stack. And the next one is I'm going to see a minus sign. So what should I do? A, B, C, and a minus sign here. Okay, it's very simple. A minus B divided by C. All right. So the next step is this one. So what is the final expression? What is the final expression for this? Anybody? What is the final expression for this? Anybody? So it should be very simple, right? So this is my first operand. This is my second operand. So my final is A minus B, then times A divided by K minus L. All right, so that's it. Okay, so everybody got it? So any question?
I accidentally typed Z instead of A.
I got something wrong.
Yes, okay. I accidentally typed Z instead of A.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah. Okay. So the last one. The last one. Yeah. Anybody want to try last one? So if, remember, when you convert the prefix to infix from the back, so this 3 is one group. So I can write really quick 7 minus 1. Right? So for this one, it's 7 minus 1. Anybody can get it in 1 second? It's very simple, right? 7, 5, and you connect it by the minus. Oh, sorry. I got it wrong. Because the 5 is here, and the 7 is here. And when you pop out, the 5 is in front, right? Which one is in front? 5 is in
should
front.
be at the bottom.
So because I read, sorry, you're right. 5 is the bottom, 7 is here. Yeah, so when I push, the 5 is the bottom. So it should be 7 plus minus 5. Yeah. So because the order should be the same as the infix order. The prefix order should be the same as infix order. So this one is 7 minus 5. Yeah, so my first expression is correct. 7 minus 5. And then what? And these 3 are together, right? This is my 2, 8 minus 2, divided 8 divided by 2. And then what? And then these 3 are together. So basically this is 3 times 4. And then this one. So basically I'm going to do 3 times 4 plus 8 divided by 2. Okay. And then this one to the power of 2. Okay. This one is to the power of 2, which is 12 plus 4, which is 16, and which is equal to 256. This is how I evaluate. Okay, this is how I evaluate prefix. Okay, so after you can try some exercise and you will get very, very familiar how to do it. So this 3 is the one group, and this is 3 is the second group, and this one is a group, and the next group is this one, and the last group is this one. All right, so this is how I evaluate the prefix to infix using a stack, All right, so the next one is, any question here? Any question? No question. Okay, so next, the last one is convert the postfix to the infix. Okay, so this one is also similar to convert the prefix to infix, but read the prefix. Oh, sorry, this is not prefix. I always copy paste and I made tons of mistake. Yeah, sorry about that. I should change. Convert. This is postfix. Yeah, I will fix those error, and I will like upload this to the Google Drive. All right. So when we convert the postfix to infix, we read the postfix expression from front to back. Okay, not the reverse order. This is from the regular order, from the left to the right. Okay. Again, the same thing. If the symbol is an operand, then push it onto the stack. If the symbol is operator, then pop 2 operands from the stack. All right, this is the same thing. This is exactly the same thing, but you will see, I highlight this. When you construct this string, you have to put the operand 2 in front. Why? Because let's see, you have A, B plus, right? We put this A here, and then we push this B here. And then when we see a plus, we actually should do A plus B. And this is come out first. Okay, so this is operator 1. This is operand 1. And this is operand 2. So you have to remember, we put this operand 2 in front. Okay, this is the A. This is the B, and we put plus here. Another way to think about it is the postfix, the order of those operands in postfix, or either postfix or prefix, should be the same as the infix. Okay, should be the same as infix. Because when we convert infix to postfix, the first step is we just write the same order about all the operands. So the order are same. So that's why you have put the operand 2 first, and then operand 1. Okay, and then you just repeat the whole step. So there are two things are different. One way is read from left to right. The second way is put the operand first, operand 2 first, and operand 1 second. All right, that's 2 difference. So let's do some exercise again. Okay, this is a little bit complicated exercise. Okay, so we should do the same thing. We read this way. Okay, this is a 7, this is 2, and then we have the power. So basically, which is 7 to the power of 2. Okay, and then we have 25. We have 10. Basically, we push 25 here. We push 10 here. We push 5 here. And the next is we see a division. So when we see a division, basically this one becomes to 10 divided by 5. Okay, and then we see a plus. So basically this one becomes to 25 plus 10 divided by 5. Okay, the next one is we see a multiplication. So basically it's this one times 25 plus 10 divided by 5. The next one is minus 13. All right, so this is a quicker way to convert postfix to the infix. All right, and the last one should be very similar. The last one. So remember, the postfix is read from left to right, and this is 3 times 4. The second one is 8 divided by 2. Third one is plus. It's plus, and then the next one is 7 minus 5, and okay, I got lost. So this one, this is 3 plus 4, and this is 8 divided by 2, and this is plus them together, and this one is 7 minus. Okay, this is the Okay, something like this. All right. So basically, this is 12 plus 4 to the power of 2. Again, this is equal to 256. Okay, the same thing, 256. All right. So this is how to convert the postfix to infix. Okay. So any question here? Any question? No question. All right, so if you do not have questions, there are some exercise. So you can, so those exercises are from the real, so everybody should have the previous year example questions, right? You should have the previous year context, all the context questions. So those 2 questions are from the last year, 2022. So you should check, you should have the solution as well. Okay, so there you should have tons of the exercise from the previous years. Like a real contest. Okay, so you can do a lot of exercise to review like 4 ways, right? The prefix, infix to prefix, infix to postfix, and prefix to infix, and the postfix to infix. Like there are like 4 conversions. Okay, so if you are elementary students, so that's the only topic will be covered in the contest 2. So be sure to review those. I think you can get the full points, 5 points in the contest 2. But if you are like junior high and high school students, you have another 2 topics we will cover maybe next week or in the next 2 weeks. All right. So any question? Any question? Okay, so if you do not have any questions, that's all for today's lecture. And you can always send me email. All right. Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.